but they were like, it was like one of the first episodes, and they were like, so apparently it's like your thumb to your index finger, and like, you know, they were talking about dick sizes and stuff. Like, this is like, you know, the Friends cast. But then, who was it? Joey or something was like, can you use either thumb?
Yes.
Fucking Joey.
But would that show get away with it these days? It was like
No
a
way.
PG type. It was like all about sex.
Nah, I don't think there are a lot of shows that are like what happened back in our day. There's no way they'd get away with half of the
Again,
things.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
They still, yeah, it's pretty. Maybe I'm just getting older and I'm like, oh, that's naughty.
I feel like we should have been recording for that, right?
I am.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
The video's not.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm just gonna have a time limit because I'll need to turn it back on again.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you're getting yourself stuck.
standard. Get in your bed. Come on. You know the deal. You get to come if you sit in your bed. Good boy.
Oh, thanks, Mum.
Good boy.
I'm nervous.
Well, are we on?
Yeah, we've been recording this
Oh,
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah, good. So this is our DuxCast number 1. Over the time, we've done, at the end of the week, maybe we've done like a video, or we've done like a little, video talking about the week to come, or just done a little collage of stuff that we've done over the week in the form of video or photos. We're going to try out the whole podcast thing. Just jump on the bandwagon, see if we can get as many followers as Joe Rogan. Who knows?
One day, maybe.
So hopefully the plan is to do this every Friday. That's the goal. Whether that happens or not is another story. But We'll try and do it every Friday. Maybe a new coach every time as well to get some different perspectives and to basically go over the week that we've had, talk about some things, things that we like, things that could be improved on, and maybe we can get to know the coaches a little bit better as well, and just try to have a good time. And it's the end of the week, so we just want to kind of relax. So today we have Liam and Rhian. Sorry, we've got Rhian and Liam. Sorry, you go first.
We're one now.
So
Rhian and Liam.
Rhian,
Yeah.
what's going on with you?
Nothing. I've had a pretty big week, normal training week and coaching, so it's been good. I started taking the Tuesday afternoon. I stole it from Liam,
Yes.
which has been really fun because I was only taking the morning classes at Red Hill. So it's been really good to take the Tuesday afternoon and get to know those guys a little bit better. Really enjoyed that. And it's always a good vibe.
What's it like compared to the AM vibe?
I mean, listen, I feel like it's very similar in the sense that like 5:30 is always pumping at Red Hill. It's always a big class. And then 5 and the 6 were both pretty big on Tuesday this week, which was cool. So I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty even vibe over there, but as long as it's
Especially on Tuesdays. I think Tuesdays is probably like the busiest afternoon.
One of the
at Red
busiest,
Hill.
yeah.
yeah, and it was just I don't know. It's just nice. It's nice to get to know some different faces. You want to think that you get to know every single person in the gym, but there's 2 gyms here, and there's a lot of classes, and it's been good. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. And anything else going on with you other than gym and lifting? Is a house you've got going on? Renovating?
Yeah, so we're in the process of currently renovating our house. Well, the inside's done. We're now finishing like the landscaping on the outside. And I say we very loosely. It's mostly my partner doing all of it.
Mac does more than you.
Yeah, I'm just standing there with the coffee, like pointing at things, really. But yeah, no, it's been fun. I do want it to be over though. I would like to just be able to not spend my weekend gardening or going to Bunnings or living there.
Another trip to Bunnings.
I know, it's like I'm at my wit's end. I walk in and I take him every single time, and they're like, "You're back," and I'm like, "Yep." No, but it's been good. It's definitely been a learning process for both of us. The renovating. I don't know if I'll do it again anytime soon. Let's just say that.
Have to.
Yeah. You do it once, so you don't have to do it again.
Renovate again.
Well, if we bought another place. And
Don't.
I think that's the key point, is just stay where we are.
I don't know about you, but I've only got enough money for one house.
I'm thinking like long term in like another 5 or 10 years. I'm very hopeful, but
Yeah.
with this market, probably not so much right now.
And Liam,
Yeah, that's me.
how do we pronounce your full name just on the record?
Oh,
'Cause I always try and throw it out, and I end up coming up with like completely different things every time.
Well, do we want to include my middle name, or are we going to leave
Yeah,
it?
or
Let's
whatever.
do it.
Okay, so my name is Liam Francois
Francois.
Janse van Rensburg. That is my
Wow.
full name.
What?
Yep. Yep. So Liam Jansen will do.
Yeah.
Bloody Liam Jansen.
Liam Jansen.
That's
I
the
always go
Australian
between
version.
Van Helsing and Burger.
Van Helsing Burger.
Ah.
Yeah, I think my favourite one was when I was playing AFL. They used to call me Liam Alphabet because they were just like, if you've got every letter, it's fine. Just Liam Alphabet.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been renovating a house.
No, building a
Yeah,
house.
let's talk
Yes.
about that.
When we say I've been building the house,
Yeah.
I've been watching other people build the house. And similar thing, it's like the house is done, and now it's just all the external like landscaping stuff. And again, I like watching people do it.
Yeah.
And you're on a bit of a property. You've got some
Yes,
land.
we've got some land. Right now, unusable land because there's no fencing, so the dogs are inside, and I'm so excited to get a little fence. We got a little like part-time fence or whatever you want to call it.
Portable fence.
Yeah. So like a pull fence that we just put in, just like to keep the dogs in for now
Oh,
until
temporary
it's finished.
fence.
Yes,
Yeah.
that temporary
That
is
was
the
the
word
word
I was
you
looking
were
for,
looking for,
not
yeah.
part-time. But
Casual fence.
Just a
casual fence.
Part-time casual.
Guys, English is my second language. No, but they found a 25-meter rock in my backyard.
A what?
Yeah,
What do
it's
you
25
mean?
meters long.
So what happens with that?
So that's exactly
It's
where
like
my
underneath
fence,
the ground.
under the ground. So exactly where my fence was going to go. They cleared the dirt to like put the fence down, and then they found this rock, and now we got to wait for a guy to come out and remove the rock.
Oh,
Yes.
What?
is this why you got the house so cheap?
Yep.
This is how they stitched you up.
No, so it's actually the rock is outside of the like building envelope, so that's why it didn't come up on like the
House stuff.
survey.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's either like build the fence like 20 meters closer to the house or remove the rock. So we're going to remove the rock. So.
Is there any plans to have any animals other than your two dogs?
No.
Oh.
No horses.
I'm
No.
so
cows,
excited. What about like a
chickens?
llama or something?
No. So
Alpaca?
how our property works is we've got like 1,500 square meters that is usable that we can like have our dogs on and stuff, and then we have like 200 meters worth of protected bushland that's ours. No one else can go in, but we also can't
Do anything on it?
like knock the trees down.
Yeah.
So we've got like a little 5-year contract that says we can't knock any trees down or burn it down or whatever for 5 years.
What happens after 5 years?
Good question. No, so they'll come back with a new proposal because it's like council protected because there's koalas and wallabies and stuff and deer. We see a couple of deer.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like like they don't want the
They don't
animals
want that
to go away, and we don't want the animals to go away either. So that's why we're happy to build the fence at the edge of the bush.
Mm.
Yeah.
But does that also mean, is that why you can't have like any other animals, or is that...
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
It's just like there's not really enough space unless we go into the bush.
Yeah,
with
okay.
them.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
What's happening with you, Greg?
Just living my best life.
He's like, you've gone off my list, and that's
Yeah.
and that was not my next question.
Fuck.
Hopefully we'll have some house news soon. But
Yeah,
for now
excellent.
it's I don't have a house and you two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was...
We've got 2 gyms though.
I
Yeah.
got 2 gyms.
I don't have 2 gyms.
I don't have 2 gyms.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, good.
So let's go over Monday. Monday we did back squats, 2 sets of 8, 2 sets of 6, followed by strict handstand push-ups. So I like this theme that you've been following. So this is week 3 now, right?
Yep.
So this week we did 6 sets of handstand push-ups at 25% of your 5-minute AMRAP score. We did some front squats in the extra work and some conditioning stuff, some wall walks.
Yes.
Anyway, where were you working on Monday? You were here?
I was at Toowong all day actually. Yeah, so all day I was here. I think I've really been enjoying getting everyone squatting on a Monday, as well as doing the strict handstand push-up stuff. I feel like forcing those people who've been doing seated dumbbell presses to either use a heavier weight that's super uncomfortable, or to even just kick up upside down on the wall, just do a different scaling option that they have been, has been really cool.
I've seen a lot of people progress with that as well.
So I think potentially we'll, by the end of this gymnastics block, have a bunch of people doing a bunch more, and even just getting their first strict handstand push-up and so on.
I wasn't here. I was at the other place, but I was talking to Samantha, and she was telling me that she's like 1 centimeter off doing a strict handstand push-up.
Yeah, well, we're using, she did an RX one on the day. She was doing it with a blue mat and an ab mat on top of the blue mat, and I was like, that's a joke. You're doing all your sets unbroken. I just took the ab mat out. She went to the blue mat, RX handstand push-up.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what
that's what Meg was doing over at Red Hill. Not this week, last week. She was doing all her sets. I think it was like 3 or 4 reps to the blue mat, and she's just had a baby, and she's she's like,
dude, she's
stoked.
Awesome.
Yeah, super stoked.
Did you see her 10K time?
No, I don't want to. I think I'd cry.
Like 45 minutes 10K run.
10K run.
45 minutes for a 10K run. She had a baby like a day ago. It feels like. I've never run a 45-minute 10K.
My knees would not like it.
I think I've run a 5K.
It's so impressive, so cool.
Yeah.
But
I saw Nigel do. Were you there? No, you weren't there Monday night. Nigel just like tapped me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Holy shit! I just did handstand push-ups."
Yes, fantastic.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, he's always done dumbbell press. So, and even people just getting upside down, if they aren't doing presses, they're just getting upside down more. What did you guys do? Did you do the interval stuff? You did that last week. 1 kilometer, 30 seconds rest, 250. How'd that go with you?
I found...
What machine did you use?
I skied. Oh. Yeah, it was so bad. So I did the handstand push-ups into the ski.
That would have been
so bad.
Delicious.
And then went from the ski into the wall walk extra work, which was also interesting. But I found that first 1K interval pretty easy. And then the 250 pushed the pace pretty hard. And then that 500 meter on the first round was quite challenging.
Yeah, I thought the 500 was hard.
500 was quite hard on that first round. But then on the second round through that 1K, destroyed me. I really struggled to hold that suggested pace that was in there.
I like the 1Ks because I could just slow down. I was still keeping it under like 155 per 500 meters. But the 1 minute rest followed by the 500 meters, that was tough. And just enough time to kind of like stand up, sit back down again, strap in, and go.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was enough rest to sort of keep the intensity high. And then the 150 meters at the end is just a rip snorter of a sprint.
I did the first week on the bike, and I was like, this will be easy. My God, my legs were absolutely, they were like triple the size.
I actually, because I am testing all these things like a week before the classes are doing them, I write it up on the whiteboard and I look at it and I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to try and hold a 5K pace for this bit or a 2K pace for this bit. And there was that one specifically, I tested it in that first bit. I was like, I'll do a 2K pace for the 1K. No, nowhere near.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely cooked
Not even close. It was, way harder than I thought.
I'm not really stressed myself about like holding any type of pace other than what I think is right for the time. Because if I stress myself out and be like, I know what I can do for 5K, so I'll hold this. But I just use the first round as like a guide and then try and hold that for the second round, which I did, and everyone else I talked to did as well, and they really like that. Tuesday's workout, we did 4 rounds per time. 800 meter run.
Yeah,
this is great.
25 toes to bar and 25 chest to bar on the other rounds. That was a good one because it was like a long workout. I really like the endurance, longy workouts, 15, 20 plus minutes.
You just hold that steady pace.
We also did power cleans, clean pulls, and then the 30 seconds on, 2:30 off on the C2 bike.
That was yuck too. I think we can call that workout the Greg Wilson, the running and gymnastics
mate.
That was I like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
How quick did you do it?
16 minutes.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, half the time cap.
I watched Courtney and Ebony do it in the morning, and I think they came in just over 20 minutes, and I was like,
yeah.
And you did it in 16 minutes.
That's at Red Hill too.
Yeah.
I did it here.
Yeah,
So
it's
flat run, but
we had that gate open. I had chalk in my pockets. And I was chalking from like 50 meters to the bar. And Drew was there, and he's like, "Do you want some chalk?" And I'm like, "Already done, bro." I literally run and jump on the bar.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, is the transitions. If you just put the Band-Aid off and just jump on.
Yeah.
For me, the challenge was I had two things that I didn't want to do on that workout. I didn't want to, I always get to the turnaround point on the 800 and I look up the hill and then I walk 10 steps and then I start running again.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that little walk. And then secondly, didn't want to chalk up once through the whole workout.
You didn't chalk up once?
I chalked at the start and I was just like, because I really wanted to beat Joel in this workout. Because I know I've got him on the gymnastic stuff. I did beat him in the end. I know I've got him on the gymnastic stuff, but he's so freaking fast.
Very quick.
He runs so fast. So it's like on that last round especially, I felt a little slippery. I went on my run, and I think Joel had like 15 toaster bar left when I went on my run. And I'm like...
gunning it.
I'm running.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to do this chest to bars unbroken because I can hear him running behind me. Before I get to that turnaround point, he's here next to me. I turn around. I get back inside. I think he'd done like 10, 12 reps on his chest bar. So like, I need to go unbroken, otherwise he's beating me. But then he came down and walked over to the chalk bucket and chalked up. And I just hopped up, did my 25, bang, bang.
Took it.
Isn't it funny how things that make you go better in workouts is ego or paranoia?
Yeah.
I had paranoia because I did it, a week after these guys did it. So I didn't know what my time was. The clock's inside, we're outside. And I'm just telling myself, no, they're going to beat me. They're going to beat me. Got to go faster. Got to go faster. And that's kind of the mentality you need sometimes to be like, especially when you're not in a heat at a competition maybe, where maybe you're in the third heat and there's still more heats to come. And then you're like, oh yeah, I did all right. And then you realize people beat you. So you've got to always assume that people are going faster than you.
Yeah. It's funny though, we did the All-Star on the weekend. I did it with Elise, Ash and Josh. And there was one workout where it was like 9 shuttle runs, 27 toaster bar. 27 toaster bar, 81 double unders, 9 bar muscle ups. And I was like, this is not a shuttle run workout. But everyone went like fast out the gate on the shuttle runs. And I was the last off of the shuttle runs. And the girl next to me had done like maybe 5 toaster bar more than me. And I jumped up and I heard she got to 15 and I was like, go unbroken. That's what I thought in my head. Like, don't break. But then I stopped at 20 and I was already 5 ahead of her now. And then I just, that extra 5 reps that you hold on, I just stayed in front of her the whole time. And then the bar muscle ups at the end, they come down at 4 and I held on for the whole 9. And you go through and you're just like,
excellent.
I had to do that because my ego was not going to let her catch up to me.
I love it.
Ego can be good, but
it can also hurt.
Yeah, definitely. Was there anyone else on that Tuesday that stood out for you guys when you were coaching?
What was that? So Ella came in and she did the workout. She did
Petite.
Ella Petite. She came in and did the workout. So she's also just recently had a baby.
So recently.
Was
that her first running workout?
No, she didn't run. So she did bike, but she did do the pull-ups. So she did just chin over bar pull-ups, did them all, and she did like straight leg raises and absolutely crushed it.
That's so good. I think running is like the last piece of the puzzle when you've just had a baby, so it might be 12 weeks and then you start running again.
She's waiting for her physio's all clear.
Yeah.
I watched Tash do it here in the morning and she was super unsure about it, and I think she was like halfway into her first round of toaster bar doing 3s and 4s, and she was like, I think I'm going to do 15. I walked up, I was like, I think you can do it. And she did it. She did 3s and 4s the whole way through. Chin over bar pull-ups, but it was awesome. She got it probably like 4 minutes under the time cap still.
Yeah, wow.
Stellar.
That was probably my favourite part.
She is under the radar sometimes. She always
she
impresses
does.
me every time. On Wednesday, we did some heavy push presses, so 10, 8, 8, 8, and then what do we call this one?
The 3 and 3.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
9 deadlifts, 9 push jerks, 9 bar facing burpees, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off.
I reckon
How hard
this
can
one
it be?
was sneaky.
Yeah, it was. I feel like even coaching that, I was like, oh my God, the 3 minutes is already up for you to go. You need to go again.
Yeah. I wrote this and thought I would, we'll get through 10 rounds. Nah.
10 rounds?
I looked, I was like, 10 rounds, like 3 and a bit on the first, 3 and a bit on the last, and then
Go
3
ham.
and then just send it on the last round. And I got halfway through that second round. I was just like,
oh my God.
I'm gonna die. I was like nearly failing push jerks at 50 kilos, which I've never done before.
I think, the push jerks and the bar facing burpees is a brutal combo. It's just a double push, and 50 kilos is 50 kilos, but you know, bar facing burpees is your whole body weight, basically like a lazy push up.
Yeah.
And bar facing just makes it 10 times worse. So I feel like the deadlift is definitely the rest in that one. So
I think depending on who you were, like it was either the push jerks or the burpees that got you, and you could tell when people let the burpees get to them and then just like go to those like grief burpees, just like
drop to the knees, get decapitated, fall to the floor.
My life sucks.
But
I think that was actually probably my favorite workout to coach all week, just purely because people could work together on the same bar and count reps for each other. You can kind of go to that place where it hurts enough where you can't even like keep count of your own reps, so you need your friend to do it for you.
Yeah, they're always my favorite workouts. It's like same work-rest ratio. Someone's on the bar, you're resting, and then swap. And it's just really good for morale as well, I think, when you've just got a counter.
Definitely.
You don't have to mark the ground, they're marking it for you.
Yeah.
And it's a really good workout, that one.
Yeah. I had Kaz do that one on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. and she did. She's like, I'm just gonna do 30 kilos, and I was like, have a try at 35 because she has pushed a couple of and she did, and she smoked it. She did so good.
Excellent.
Yeah,
that's so wonderful.
Yeah,
she's worked so hard on her jerks as well.
Yeah, it was like she was doing the jerks in like she slowed them down a little bit,
stopping on her chest,
but she committed. She committed,
That's
and
so
she
good.
just kept going, and it was really good to see.
Yeah. She's at that point where we need to push her to do RX more often.
Yeah.
And some people, they need to back away and maybe scale to get a better workout. But for her and a few other people, they need that challenge. It's so easy to be like, oh, just go lighter and, you get a good workout. But with her, she's strong enough. She's got to back herself.
Yeah.
She's got the technique there. So,
Nothing wrong with scaling, though.
Yes, no.
Nothing wrong with scaling whatsoever. We did Thursday a big, long
Turkish get-ups.
EMOM.
I wasn't here for this one.
Bit of a sweat sesh.
Yeah, I really actually enjoyed coaching this one. I love spending time with people doing Turkish get-up practice. I think even if you've done 1,000 Turkish get-ups before, doing them slow at a tempo, and I even had some people in the warm-up doing with a plate, like just holding the plate flat on their hand, and everyone found it really challenging. It's good to like do the half Turkish get-ups first, and then practicing just bringing your foot through, and I actually enjoyed that a lot. Coaching it.
To me, Turkish get-ups is kind of like a neurological response that you get, kind of like holding a handstand. There's a lot of moving parts, so it really gets people's brain fired up, and you can really, see when people are coordinated, and you can see when people aren't coordinated. So it's a really good way to sort of suss out their movement pattern, and people can pick it up quite quickly, but other people just have no idea.
Well, that's what I feel like a Turkish get-up. It's good to take the time to learn how to do it properly, and then once you do, the efficiency you have of it is so much better. It's like there are also so many people that I've seen who have been like, oh, this is a Turkish get-up, and they're just rushing to stand it up, and you're just like, no, and they do it, and they're like, wow, that's so much easier.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
going slightly. Have you seen Meg Rankin do Turkish get-ups?
No.
Guys, I've never seen a movement look so well-oiled in my life. I reckon she could do 3 Turkish get-ups to one of mine.
Oh, my God.
Insane. Ridiculous. I can't remember what workout it was, but it was...
Yeah, it's a pretty unique movement where it can be used as like a rehab tool for shoulder stability. And it's also as brutal as a burpee, with like just moving your whole body that far with
Up
a
and
light
down,
weight,
up and down.
let alone a heavy weight. And it can be a strength exercise as well with like max weight. What can you do?
I remember one of the first CrossFit competitions, and I'm pretty sure it was Joel. It was out on some field somewhere
Dude,
that I ever went into.
I was there.
Oh my god! The
It was
barbell one?
Yes.
Oh my god! He must have been there with you.
Picked it up, stood up, went back down, and slid down to my back, and I got a no rep because I didn't show control. And it was like 45 kilos.
I remember sitting there going...
Barbell?
It was
Yeah.
a
45 kilo barbell.
It was
yeah, get up.
insane. I was watching it and I was like, what are these people doing? I was
It
like
was
19.
a coastal CrossFit one.
Yes, it must have been.
Up the coast.
Yeah.
Luke Roberts was there.
Yeah.
Robbo,
Yeah.
And so he was friends with Joel, so
Yeah.
maybe that's where the connection is.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that was a really hard... That was one of my first workouts as well.
Yeah,
That
man. I remember
Insane.
That was
I don't
so...
reckon I could do one.
Yeah, it was
It was like
crazy.
10 minutes to find a 1 rep max Turkish get up.
Yeah. It was like
With the
ridiculous.
barbell.
Yeah.
Well,
they go
Yeah,
close,
just close.
Up to 30 kilos, and then it was like you can use the barbell after that.
Yeah, because you had like a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something, but then there was a barbell. I just remember watching that workout and being like, what are these people doing? This is insane. This is absolute friggin'
Is this
madness.
before you did CrossFit?
This was before I'd started CrossFit.
Was this like a deterrent?
No.
Is that why you
I was
started
like-
doing? That's why you started doing weightlifting.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw Rhian doing thrusters this week.
Oh, yeah.
I
my
was doing
clusters.
power cleans. He was doing
Just changed it up. I was doing a cluster.
yeah,
Yeah.
gangster.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Friday is today. Karen,
Yes.
goddamn Karen.
Mm.
I just finished coaching the 9 o'clock in the midday class. There was 19 people at the 9 o'clock class.
Wow. It's pumping over
So
here
busy.
at 9 a.m.
Mhm.
Hey.
Especially Fridays.
Especially Fridays.
Yeah.
I think people want to just
Knock off early.
work early and go have some beers, and then so the midday and the 9 o'clock have been absolutely heaving.
Yeah, that's good.
I got a little bit nervous when that many people rocked up, and I'm like, I get nervous sometimes because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to effectively touch every single person and give them.
Whoa.
Show me on the doll where they touched me. As in, like,
Interact.
touch people in a coaching sense
Yeah.
where I'm like, hey, why don't you try this a little bit differently? And like, I have that sense all the time where I like walk out of a class and I always think to myself, I didn't coach this person, or I didn't talk to this person that much, and I'll make an effort to
Yeah.
talk to them the next time or give them a bit more of my time.
It is hard in those
With
busy
19
classes.
people,
Yeah.
you sacrifice that, but what you gain is a shit ton of vibe and enthusiasm. And I was talking to someone, I'm like, oh, sorry, it was so busy. I'm like, that was the best class ever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, you're right, it was.
Yeah.
It was like, there was so much going on,
I
but
think as coaches, you notice the things that get missed in a busy class way more than the people
Yeah.
who are actually in the class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
vibing off of like everybody
they're
being
just loving
around
it.
you.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, I didn't see that person walk in.
Yeah.
What?
there was some real atmosphere. It was sick. It was good. Karen, Tim did 5 minutes something. That was a pretty fast time.
I think
Mate,
5.
I think I saw Jordan do
no,
it.
guys. Courtney went unbroken.
Courtney went unbroken. Did
Yeah.
you hear Courtney went unbroken?
Courtney went unbroken. Yes. So beforehand, I was
And her time was...
4:42. I think was her time.
I feel like
Can you think doing wobbles for 4 minutes and 42 seconds, just not stopping?
I don't like doing 20 before.
I reckon if I did, I'd get like 70.
like-
catch and pause. Just don't put the ball down.
This counts.
So
counts.
it was actually interesting because Ebony, Sarah, and Courtney came in and did the class together at
Yeah.
6:30, which I have really enjoyed watching those three girls
They've been coming
jump
to
back into the classes.
Tuesday, Wednesdays,
Yeah.
all over at Red Hills.
They came in, and Sarah is really good at wobbles. And I walked up to Sarah and said, Sarah, you're doing at least 100 in your first set. And she said, cool, no worries. And I looked at Courtney and was like, you're doing one more than what Sarah's doing. And then I watched it, and Sarah, the last 10 reps of her, like from 90 to 100, was like, watching it, and I looked at Courtney, and she just looked comfy. I was like, oh, we're on here.
Ooh.
And it was unreal to watch. And she finished and just kind of like sat down on the ground and looked around. She's like, yep, unbroken.
That is
4 minutes
so
40.
offensive.
Yeah,
It's-
ridiculous.
It's Even on the Wednesday morning, I think it was the Wednesday, Tuesday, the run workout. She on the last run, had eaten before she come in, and her stomach wasn't feeling good. So on the last run, she walked up the hill, and she came back in, guns blazing, and just did her 25 chest to bars unbroken. And I was like,
same.
It's just it's incredible to watch that, but also how much it like drives everybody else in the class.
Yeah, she is the definition of a real athlete, and I really, really like watching her exercise because it's perfect for.
It is very pretty
to show people, hey, that's what that movement looks like. But it's also a bit of a level that you can be like, this is.
Potentially where you can...
If you put in a lot of hard work and if you eat well and train really hard and give it time, don't expect this in like 6 months, but give it years and years.
Courtney would agree with this as well. It's not like she's just like born with the ability to like... Obviously she's fairly talented, but like most of what you achieve in CrossFit is just like come in and do the boring stuff, move really well, and then add intensity after that. Like, make sure you're moving super well before you're doing heavy snatches. Make sure you're doing the gymnastics perfectly. She did 15 years of gymnastics before she started CrossFit, and that's why she's so good. And I think that's what just has to be remembered, that it's like come in and practice the skills and get good at the skills before you try and do them.
Yeah,
like she does. Master the basics.
Incredible.
Anyway. I always tell all the newbies, and we do like the on-ramp program, I tell them that gymnastics and weightlifting is all about, it's kind of like learning the guitar.
Yeah.
You just learn the chords, you learn the C chord and the G chord and the D chord, and you just play them super slow and you just get them perfect.
And then you put them together.
That turns into a song eventually, just like it turns into a 100-kilo snatch, or it turns into 25 chest to bar pull-ups unbroken.
It's a good analogy. Any other standouts?
Standouts from Karen?
I saw Jordan do it. She didn't do it.
She did it on Wednesday.
Yeah. That was still very impressive.
Just over PB.
Yeah, over 5 minutes, I think it was.
5:21, I think.
And same thing, she just looked, she was structured her breaks, but she just looked very composed the entire way, under control, like just moving really well. So that was cool to see too.
Yeah, I find it important to write notes for myself when I do workouts like Karen, because it's one movement, and it's kind of like Fran. You could do Fran unbroken twice and get close to a 45-second difference.
Yeah.
So with Karen, you could do it unbroken, which I will never do. So Courtney could do it unbroken, and she could do it unbroken again.
Yeah.
And get
20 seconds faster.
Potentially,
Or even 20 seconds slower.
Yeah.
So by writing down in your note app or in Train Heroic, I broke it up and I did this. I did 30, 20, 20, 20. At least you have a game plan going into it next time.
And even like a note on like what type of ball you used. Like, I used the bouncy purple ball, or I used the really big sandy ball and I got heaps of sand in my eye. That's why it was so hard.
Yeah.
Or
I wore goggles when I did.
I wore my goggles this time and it was fine. Or I used a small ball, shoulders didn't hurt so much. So like I think that's a good.
I've found this cycle encouraging everyone to track more has really paid off as well, especially like with being like, okay, guys, you know, we did our 5-minute AMRAP for the handstand push-ups at the start. What did you get? Because we're doing 25% of that now. So it's like everyone's like, oh, I actually have to.
Yeah. I think it is important. Like, I understand that lots of people don't want their name up on the leaderboard and whatever, but I think it really does add to, number one, not just the vibe in the gym, but it just like makes you proud of your effort, of whatever is up on there. You're like, I know that I couldn't have squeezed out one more rep because I knew my score was going to be up on that leaderboard today.
Yeah.
So,
it's a personal accountability.
Yeah.
With Karen, I find it also helps me. I don't know if anyone else does this, but sometimes I just throw the ball a little bit higher.
Yes.
It gives me a quarter of a second longer to shake out my arms. My legs don't have to squat. Straight away, and
I would rather do it the other way.
No, because the thing that happens for me is that like this holding the ball position is the hardest part of Karen. Like it's not the squat, it's not the throw, it is being in this front rack position. It blows my shoulders to pieces. So all I'm doing is I'm throwing the ball as high as I can, dropping my hands down and waiting for it, and then I'll catch the squat and throw it as high as I can. And yes, it's slow. But
that could be the difference between you holding on to your game plan of doing 40 reps before you break. You get to 36 and you're like, I want to break now. And when you break on an odd number like that, 36, you feel like you've lost it. And so if you can get to 40 and make that little micro goal, then you're like, all right, I achieved something. I'm going to rest 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, and then I'm going to go for 20. If you get to 18, you feel like you let yourself down, and then you're like, that's it. Then you do 7. Then you do 6.
Yeah.
So by having these micro goals is important.
Helps.
So just to get that extra 3 reps out, throw it higher, shake out your arms. That helps me a lot.
Elise this morning nailed a 10-minute EMOM of 2 strung together ring muscle ups.
Unbroken muscle
First
ups.
time ever. Yeah.
We need to piss test her.
I know. That girl's gains are just getting so
ridiculous.
incredible.
Her clean and jerk at the comp on the weekend.
Also,
insane.
she just rose to the occasion so much.
If you haven't
on the
watched the
weekend.
video, go watch the video.
Yeah.
It was the nicest clean and jerk out of everyone's.
Oh yeah, I mean, better than mine. It was so beautiful. It was like a 5 kilo PB. It was like something ridiculous. It was just like it
looked like she could have done an extra.
But you know what? And I say this to everyone when like people are like, oh, how can I get better? I'm like, do the class. Once you feel good doing the class, do some of the extras. Build up, just show up, be consistent every day, and that's exactly what she has done. She's just shown up and given 100%, whatever that looks like on any given day, and her consistency has just skyrocketed her progress.
Yeah. Consistency.
And apart from working on some skills, like I see her working on some chest bars and stuff when they're not programmed, but she doesn't just come up with a random workout and does it. She follows the program and then she'll work on some skill if it's not already in the program. It's not coming up with 3 other sexy workouts in the week and doing them, which I find quite important. Just trust the process. I was talking to her the other day as well, and she said it felt so easy. I wanted to maybe even go heavier. But the challenge will be, and I know she'll rise to the challenge, is to do that weight in training and then realize that the atmosphere at a comp, sometimes it feels like it weighs so little and then you fail that weight in training. Or it's like getting your first muscle up and then you can't get one again for like 3 months. It's that atmosphere environment. And that's why I love comps.
Replicating it without the adrenaline.
But that's what I like classes.
Yeah, get the
enthusiasm. I like the vibe of training with other people.
Oh, I miss doing classes. It's like the reason I started doing CrossFit was to do classes.
Yeah.
And it's probably the thing that I regret the most about becoming a coach.
Well, I didn't do a lot of competitive CrossFit for a while. I was doing just weightlifting. And then when I came back here and the vibe was like so good, I was like, this is why I started CrossFit to begin with. And it completely disappeared towards the end of me competing when I was in Sydney.
Because you're doing by yourself,
on
lifting
my
in the
own.
corner.
It just was horrible.
You relinquish all that power to the coach, and the coach warms you up, the coach gets you inspired, and the coach gets you on time, and you've got, all right, you've got 3 minutes to warm up, let's go, let's do this. Whereas when you train by yourself, warm-up's pretty average, delay,
takes 2 hours
5 minutes rest between.
You check your phone, you write back to someone, you do something, it's,
Yeah, I did the class on Tuesday for that workout, and I really liked it. That was Drew's class.
Yeah, and I think you get that similar feeling to a comp. Obviously, you don't want that every day, but that similar, like, everyone's here encouraging you.
Yeah. People are watching, people are, yelling at you, so you don't want to let them down. Just quickly, we'll talk about tomorrow's workout. I don't know when this podcast is going to come out, but we just came up with it. We kind of like went back and forth on a couple of things, but the workout is for on Saturday in teams of 3. You're going to do this for time. 60 devil's press.
Oof.
Followed by 21 suicide sprints, so you're going to do 7 each.
So 5 meters and back, 10 meters and back, 15 and back?
Yep.
You do the 5, 10, 15, then your partner does it?
So you'll all be standing at the starting line, slap hands, social distance, slap hands, and up, 5, 10, 15. So you're going to do 7 rounds of that. And then 90 kettlebell swings broken up in your team of 3. Then 15 shuttle sprints, 5 each. This time it will just be to the halfway of the field and back. So it'll be 100 meters total, 50 up, 50 back. You do 5 of them each. Indian file, 120 ball slams, and then 9 200-meter sprints. That will be 100 meters up, 100 meters back. Tag your buddy, they do it. Tag the next person, they do it, and you do that 3 times each. Something a little bit different, but Saturdays are always intended to be a bit more fun and a little bit less
serious.
A little bit less aggressive on the body, but still hard. So we're not like loading up the spine too much on Saturday, and we're kind of like, you shouldn't be too sore after this workout, but you'll still love the rest on Sunday, and then get ready to squat heavy on Monday again.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a doozy Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I want to talk about it? I want to leave it.
It's up to you.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
Yeah, let's
leave it for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Saturday. What are we going to talk about? What did I mention? The history behind.
Oh,
Dux.
yes.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
And what
Actually, you know
CrossFit
what?
Dux
I've
is
always
known.
wondered how you got Dux.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I started with thinking about calling it CrossFit Matador, like the Matador holding the thingy.
Yeah.
And
The
then
cape.
all I thought was this stupid, bad logo of a guy swinging a kettlebell, but the horns were like this bull, and you're like holding the, and I'm like, oh, it's
Holding the bull by the horns.
yeah, and then grab life by the horns or some shit, and then you know them ideas that start really good and they fade. So, CrossFit Matador. I don't know if it's actually a CrossFit gym.
Call that
Matador. I just like that name, Matador. And then I looked up dumbbells. This is back in like 2012, right? So it's been a while now. Ancient Greece weights, dumbbells in particular, are called halteres, and it didn't really ring, but I was going to call it CrossFit halteres. But then I'm like, that doesn't ring very well. It doesn't come off the tongue. And then it was going to be called CrossFit Toowong, and I envisioned the two O's in the Toowong being rings, and some guy swinging on the rings, logo-wise.
Mate, I mean, listen, these are all pretty good ideas. Like,
I'm glad you went the way you went, though.
Yeah, like, it's great, but, like, 10 points for creativity on all of this stuff.
And then I was thinking, like, Deuce motorcycles, and then, put up your Dukes. I don't know how you even spell that. But I was just coming up with, like, words with the letter D, X in it, and I fucking love the letter X. And then found Dux, and I actually got rejected on the name.
What does Dux mean?
Well, Dux is like the ducks of the school, right? So
Number one.
In America, they call it the valedictorian. In England and Scotland and Australia and New Zealand, they call it the ducks of the school. So it's like the leader. You can be the academic leader. You can be the sporting achievement leader. So that's at the end of each year. We have them awards, the Dux Lotharum and the Dux Ladorum. That's like the best and fairest, and also the most improved, or how we translate it anyway. Yeah. So Dux means like ducks of the school. And then when I put in my request to CrossFit HQ, they rejected it, and they're like, sorry, we can't use the word ducks, because they thought it was like quack quack ducks with a weird spelling. And I'm like, sorry, we can't use abbreviations and stuff. Do you have any other names? And I'm like, well,
it's not an abbreviation.
It's actually in my dictionary. And then I got an email back from Greg Glassman. I screenshotted it. I should try and find it. He's like, it said something like, for one, sir, I love this word, and you're welcome to the family, or some shit like this.
Some weird shit.
Oh, mate.
Something weird.
Like, and he's like, and your application has been approved. Welcome to the family. I'm like, sweet. So CrossFit Dux. It looks the way it's spelled, right? Like I still get people calling, is this CrossFit Dux? I'm like, just say it smoothly. So yeah, there were some options on what I was going to call it, but I'm glad I went with Dux.
Yeah, definitely the right choice.
Yes.
Short and sweet. I wanted to talk about pre-workout ideas.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you take before you train?
Listen, I don't take much. I think I've taken on...
Even like eating beforehand, when do you eat?
So normally what I'll do, like if I train in the morning, I will have my coffee like that I'll drink over the morning if I'm coaching. And then I'll have something small like a banana and like half a protein shake maybe. But then I also have carbohydrates normally during my training sessions, because I normally go for 1 to 2 hours. So I eat in the middle of that too if I feel like I need to. But I've as far as like a straight pre-workout, I mean, caffeine mostly. I've taken beta-adenine if I know like I've got like a really big like workout. I've done that before, but I'm like super sensitive to that stuff. I've taken pre-workout before and it's crippled me.
I would have even thought being a weightlifter as well. Like, you can get tested and there's so much shit in products these days.
You can't risk it. I've already had a random drug test, and like even the intensity of which they make you record, they're like, for the last week you need to write down every single thing that you've consumed. And I was like, what? I like had to think back to any supplement, any prebiotic, probiotic, anything. Like, you have to write every single thing, the brand, how much you take, everything down when they test you. So
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
I thought they just took your whiz and...
Nah. So, yeah, I mean, not only do you have to... I had like a 60-year-old lady watch me pee, which was weird.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, you have to sit down, you have to write down every single thing, because when they do the test, it'll come up with stuff. And if you haven't said...
This is where I got this.
I'm taking this, well, then they'll start to question it. So... for me, more than anything, it's not worth taking the pre-workout consistently, because if there is a deviation or if there is something wrong with it.
Or do you find that when you do start taking it consistently, you can't get off it easily and you feel like you need it? So,
you can definitely create a crutch.
Yeah, if you just eat well and eat at the right time, you shouldn't need it, but it can get really...
I think... if you're training at any time other than the 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. classes,
you should be eating before.
You should be eating before you train.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you reckon, like, I go like 2 hours before?
Yeah, so personally, I wake up at 3:45 or whenever it is, I have my oats immediately, and I have my coffee, so I've had my first meal of the day, and I don't train till 10, but then I'll eat again at around 8:30, and I'll have, it's usually... some slow release carbs like a brown rice or something similar with some tuna, and that'll last me until the afternoon where I have my big meals. But if I don't eat that before I train, I can definitely feel the difference in terms of energy.
I just fade. I just fade so quickly.
Hunger creeps in really quickly, and so if I'm even thinking about food or slightly hungry, I will
stop training.
I won't be able to do it, or I'll do it at like 50%.
Yeah,
especially like with weightlifting, when you're lifting a lot of weight, like you'll get halfway through. Like for example, last night I did my back squats and I was 6 sets of 6 at 80%. By the end of it, I was that hungry. I like could not leave without eating something. Like I had to get food from someone because I was so hungry. So I feel like if you're not adequately like fueling before and even after you train, it kind of ticks over to the next day as well.
I think for me it's less feeling hungry, and it's just I start feeling really sluggish, and I can feel the difference when I start feeling like that. I have my little scoop of Powerade and swig that down, and I immediately, like within 5 minutes, feel like I'm good to go again. Yeah. But I think the only thing I can say for people who are training at 5:30 a.m. is really like, have a non-milky coffee if you don't want to take a pre-workout.
Yeah.
Bananas work well.
Bananas are good, but again, like personally, honey? Honey's fantastic. If I eat a banana right before I train, I will throw it up.
Really? Yeah. I must have an ironclad stomach, because I can normally eat within, if it's like 45 minutes before training, I can have like a full meal. I could go do a big workout, I'll be fine.
Depends what kind of workout I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I'm
like
doing strength stuff,
you're throwing your body down.
If I'm doing strength stuff, I can eat as much as I like. It doesn't bother me. It is the moment my heart rate gets up, I start getting.
I mean, yeah, you are a bit of a.
Yeah, I'm a gagger. You can insert video of me gagging here.
I take creatine religiously.
Yep.
Before every training session.
That must be why you're so jacked.
It's not working. And I used to do the whole snake thing, like 3 to 5 snakes before training, and it did really help, especially like with the alertness. But I didn't want to do
Keep
that
eating
all
snakes.
the time, and I didn't want to have that stigma of like, oh, this guy's the owner of the gym. He's supposed to be super healthy, but he's eating snakes. But it does help, and especially if you're trying to just focus on performance, it doesn't matter what it looks like; it's just performance. But yeah, honey, I've got honey here, so just squeeze
Squirt
it
of
into your
honey.
mouth. The Powerade stuff really helps as well, and just anything that goes into your system straight away.
Yeah,
That
fast
doesn't sit in your
absorbing.
If you're doing the
guts.
Powerade, I would genuinely recommend just like scooping it straight in your mouth and swinging it down with some water. Because the problem is
It's the volume.
If you put it in
Water.
a litre of water,
You have
it's
to
gonna
drink the
take
whole
you-
litre.
Yeah, but it's also going to take you an hour or 20 minutes to drink it all.
Yeah.
That
That's
slushes around.
Completely not the point of doing it. It's like get the sugar inside you so that you can use it.
Yeah. Straight away.
But yeah, other than that, like I don't really have. So for example, Danny asked the question. Yeah, she asked the question. She doesn't like getting the tingles from pre-workout.
She doesn't like caffeine either, so
Yes,
she doesn't
correct.
drink
That's a tough
coffee.
one.
Yeah, so I think the tough thing here is that you need to get your nutrition right, and it's hard because Danny is someone who trains in the morning, so she was at the 6:30 class this morning, and I think it would be worth the extra 30 minutes of getting up early to eat something small.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for myself, it would make a huge.
Yeah,
difference
she's
if
not
I
training
ate
at the
something.
5:30, so considering that, you can squeeze a meal in quite easily.
Yeah.
Not a huge meal, but just something carby with a little bit of protein.
But you know what? Have 20 grams of oats with half a banana, protein, blend it in a blender,
Drink
down
it.
the hatch,
Or
like...
you could, even if you did that, you can put it in a pan. It makes beautiful pancakes.
Okay, Chef Liam over
Actually
here.
delicious. But it's easier to eat because you can actually eat the pancakes in the car on the way to the gym or whatever. So.
Yeah, or like we said, honey normally does the trick too. So
Yeah, honey's a good one.
a big pump of honey before you train helps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not big on like...
I don't like supplements in general, Brandon.
I just find that the crash is always worse. Like...
Yeah.
You do there will be a point, whether it's during the workout or after the workout, where you just absolutely crash, and I hate that feeling.
Yep.
Had that after every single open workout.
Dude, that was probably one of the worst ideas you've ever had. So someone recommended a new pre-workout to Greg,
Oh no.
and Greg double scooped this pre-workout.
Like a champion.
Yeah, duh.
I should have just snorted it.
And then halfway through this workout, it was that final workout with the bar muscle ups. I've never seen Greg chicken
Cool
wing.
workout, by the way.
Yeah.
Never seen Greg chicken wing on a bar muscle up before. 30 chicken wing bar muscle ups later.
Oh no.
Greg's lying on the floor wanting to throw up, and then he's got to clean a jug as well.
Hey,
I
let's
think
not
he
forget, it was
It was a hard workout.
35 degrees
It was hot as
in a
fuck.
tin shed.
It was
It
hot
was
as
3
fuck.
o'clock in the afternoon, and
And you double scoop pre-workout.
this pre-workout was the equivalent of 5 cups of coffee.
It was
Awesome.
meth. It was meth.
Yeah.
But I
So-
think always, if you're doing an important workout like a benchmark or a competition,
change anything.
Don't change your routine. Whatever it is, whether it's a good routine or not, it is your routine, and stick to it before something important.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
Second that.
Moving on from food and stuff, another thing about early classes that made me just think now, we had someone post in the group and ask about ideas in terms of getting to class with a young kid and so on. And obviously she had a lot of people reply on the post and everything, but I don't know, how do you guys have any ideas or anything that you would like to give Kaylee?
So, do you have a child?
I don't know.
None
Do
of
you
us.
have a child?
None of us have a
I do
child,
not have
so
a child.
obviously we don't have a very educated opinion on this, but
No,
maybe
Yeah.
you've had a client before that's had a cool way of dealing with it or something
I
like
think
that.
she needs to realize that the person that it annoys the most is probably her,
Yeah.
not the whole class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've experienced a class with her where Mason was a little bit upset and sort of running around throwing some balls around, and we're just trying to like clean him up and not make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And the only person that was getting frustrated was Kaylee.
Yeah.
So she needs to realize that she's doing this for herself, and
Setting a good example by showing up.
and he'll get used to it. It's just like a new environment, I think, for him. So
100%.
I'm so pumped to see her back, and I would hate for
100%.
her to, not put herself first in this situation, and he'll cry from time to time. We just have to deal with it, and I just pump fucking music up.
Yeah. I had Ella and Meg both with their babies at the 9 a.m. class, and I have no qualms like holding a baby, rocking a baby. It doesn't bother me at all. But you're right. The person that it ends up upsetting more is the parent. And it's like, for me, holding a baby for 5 minutes while I walk around and coach everyone, that's not a big deal. That doesn't affect me.
I think in the end, whatever the option is, the key is routine, especially for the young kid. From watching all the other people who are coming in with kids around that 9 o'clock or even the 6 a.m. class, the key is to do a similar thing every day so that they're used to getting up half an hour earlier to get to the gym. They're used to going straight to daycare because eventually, yes, at the start, that might be the thing that upset them, but eventually that's going to be their little comfort. They're like, oh, we're going to the gym at 6. This is what we do every morning. And
consistency is key with that.
So I think
it's everything.
Obviously, this is not a blanket rule, and I do not have this experience myself. But just from the outside looking, I think consistency will make it slightly easier.
Prevail.
Along.
If you're trying different sessions every day, then it's gonna
be different
for him every time.
It's gonna piss you off too. Like, routine's good for yourself. I like training at the same time every day. I don't like it when my routine goes out the window. So.
Yeah.
But anyway. We don't mind if your baby cries.
No, that's right. And I think
there are noisier dogs.
Yeah.
My sonos goes very high.
Yeah.
That's all I've got so far. What do you guys want to talk about? I've got 2 more minutes.
I mean, listen, I think we did pretty good.
I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover. I think I just wanted to say how excited I am to see everyone doing not all the extras, but doing some extras outside of class. I'm seeing a lot of people putting some extra work in.
I know, it's so good.
I am loving it. So like Gwillo and Kane in the morning doing the extra squats or whatever it is, practicing some handstand push-ups or even doing shoulder rehab.
Yeah.
I am loving that people are coming in and it's not just walk into the class 1 minute before the class starts and walking out 1 minute after the class starts. It's like people are staying an extra 20 minutes. And I think that extra 20 minutes, you'll see the benefits in the weeks and months and years to come.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that time I spent 4 or 5 weeks practicing kipping pull-ups and now I can do them and my shoulders don't hurt. So I think just want to keep encouraging people to keep doing
That's the difference between the intermediates getting to that next level. By all means, like, the hour is more than enough for some people, and like it should be the best hour of your day. But if you want to get better at certain things, you've been coming for a while, I just like stay back, have some fun, find a friend as well, and like pick someone in your class, be like, hey, do you just want to stay back for 30 more minutes, and we'll just do this conditioning piece together.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing a lot more people that probably haven't necessarily usually done it, and they're hanging back and they're all getting in and having a good time, and it's been really good. It makes for a good vibe as well. Yeah.
It's been a really good vibe lately.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Excellent.
All right, team.
Cool.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.